What's going on, y'all? Micah here, and I'm back with another boxing recap. Today, of course, we're talking about Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk 2. And if you didn't watch it, well, here's your recap. If you did watch it and you already done seen what happened, well, I know I'm late, but I wanted to weigh in on it as well. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts also. So, of course, we got the beginning of the fight. Anthony Joshua's in there kind of filling him out, and Usyk's kind of still touching him up. I didn't really feel like I saw any real major changes in Anthony Joshua's game plan or strategy. But the color commentator guys gave him the first 2 rounds for some odd reason. I wasn't really sure why, but they did. As we continued to go on, Anthony Joshua kept on doing the same thing with his plodding footwork, his lack of volume with his combinations and punches, and, just getting touched with little things that, would have knocked him out if the guy was bigger. But Usyk's not a big guy. He's a technical guy, and, he throws a lot of punches, but he's not a big guy with a lot of power. And there was one point where Joshua actually kind of was touching Usyk a little bit. He had him to the body. Looked like he almost had him up out of there, was going to get him up out of there, but he didn't get him up out of there because he doesn't throw enough punches. He gets tired too fast. And throughout the whole training camp situation, they were saying something like Anthony Joshua was on that loser talk, talking about the belts don't make a shit difference to me. Like, that's loser talk to me, bro. You already are kind of conceding defeat when you say stuff like the belts don't matter and all that kind of stuff. So you're just kind of going in there just like on some, at least I went to the gym. You know how you got those people that are still fat, but they go to the gym so they feel like they've done something. Yeah, you went to the gym for 10 minutes. And this is what Anthony Joshua would sound like to me. But, I've kind of felt like his mind wasn't in the right place when he did that. And it kind of showed here. And when we actually saw the fight, we saw that he didn't really make the necessary changes to his game plan. I knew once I saw him doing this little thing a couple, 2-3 days before the fight, I was like, oh, shit, you ain't goddamn did nothing you was supposed to do. You should have been working on your footwork and your cardio and your punch count and your volume. But you didn't work on those things. You kept on doing the Anthony Joshua special, which is lifting weights, throwing slam balls around, putting 845s on the sled and driving that down, which, don't get me wrong, those things can help you get your wind up just a little bit, the slam balls, specifically if you're doing them with maybe a jumping explosive slam ball or the sled. But if you're putting too much weight on it, you're kind of hampering yourself a little bit. To me, as far as weights go, I don't think that's gonna really translate as much to boxing as you would like it to. But you look good, as we see Anthony Joshua. You look the part aesthetically. Usyk may not look the part aesthetically, but he did dance around on you. You should have been working on your footwork 30 minutes straight. Moving your feet constantly, making little angles, twisting around, turning around, moving your feet, going forward, going backwards. But nah, you want to do the pretty boy count. Yeah, you probably ran. I know that they say you be running the miles and all that kind of stuff, and that's necessary. But what else did you do? You didn't try to improve your cardio or your punch output. At the end of the fight, he made an excuse talking about I'm 80 stone. I'm 80 stone, so yeah, I'm not like I'm 60 stone. I can't throw a lot of punches like that. That was a super excuse. It doesn't matter if you're 80 stone. Get your body right and equipped to the point where you can throw the punches like you're 60 stone, bro. You didn't do any of that. And I wonder why we never really see Anthony Joshua's camp or training footage like that. And I think it's probably because he doesn't, partly because I don't think that you should really give anybody a view of what you look like via training camp. But then I also think it's like his training methods or the way that he's training are so offset, he doesn't want to hear the backlash from it. Because I did see a training montage, like I said earlier. The things that I saw earlier, I've seen. Slam balls, pushing sleds, weights. That's kind of what he does mostly. And that's why he looks so much more aesthetically pleasing than the rest of the boxers. Because he's doing all that stuff that doesn't really matter. Usyk looks like shit, but Usyk performs well. So there's that. You have to think about that kind of stuff when you're training. Are you trying to be a pretty boy? Or are you trying to be out here functional and getting belts so you don't have to cry after the fight? But that brings me to the conclusion of the fight. I've talked enough. Obviously, we know that Usyk won the fight on points. Anthony Joshua first walked out sore loser style. And then I guess he thought about it. He got kind of mad. which anybody would after they lost the fight in front of a grand stage of 1 million people watching on TV and out there in the stands. So he came back, and then he came and asked Usyk, "How you think you beat me? How did you beat me?" And then I was thinking in my head, I mean, he beat you fair and square with footwork and volume and head movement and angles that you didn't seem to be able to compute. Then he came and took the mic from the announcer, and I guess people would say he had a meltdown. I guess it would be kind of a meltdown. It was like I worked really hard in training camp, and I didn't get the result I wanted, and now I just want to unleash on everybody. It wasn't really a meltdown if you think about the fact that he wasn't saying anything too crazy. He kind of big-upped Usyk and talked about how all the guys from Ukraine had been in back-to-back wars when they won their championships. And I guess that is kind of impressive when you think about it. Your country's literally going through war, so you got no real home base. But, you guys are pulling through. So, I mean, that's cool. But if you think about Ukraine being racist and how Biden's giving unlimited money to them when he ain't gave us no reparations, there's that. But anyway, man. So, yeah, he did that. He was big up in Usyk. Kind of just mad about everything, I guess. And then even at the end, at the post-fight press conference, he cried. He cried about the fact that, he lost after he put so much work in and lost. And I would say again, yeah, you put that work in. I understand. It's very understandable as a fighter to put a lot of work in and come back and you don't get the result you wanted. You lost to somebody you felt like you shouldn't have lost to. Maybe you felt like the judges did you wrong, which I don't think they did him wrong. He got beat fair and square, but that's a hurtful feeling, and it will definitely, a loss will definitely, have you thinking in your head like, man, am I good enough? I feel like I did everything. Maybe he's being a little delusional in a way by thinking that he did everything that he could and he did everything right, because I don't think you trained right. I don't think you did enough in the ring to take the fight. Y'all like how I rhymed that? I don't think he trained right. I don't think he did enough in the ring to take the fight. He didn't train right. He didn't put in that cardio work that he needed as far as, punching output. He should have been on the mitts. His coach should have been like, yeah, throwing, sit-piece combos the whole time. He's throwing 1-2s. He's on the bag, hitting the bag slow as hell. He's not working on his footwork. Like I said, he should have been doing the 30 minutes. Muscle endurance, get your calves right so you can move around constantly. And Usyk's not just constantly just breaking angles on you and touching you and pot shotting you. If he gets in there with somebody like Tyson Fury, knockout. Even if he gets in there with Deontay Wilder's not a technical guy, but Deontay Wilder has much more athleticism, and his power is otherworldly. So if he does hit Anthony Joshua, he'll definitely be crying after that. Might even be on suicide watch. But that's just my recap of the fight, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Anthony Joshua. Do you guys think he's done? Do you guys think he has more juice in the tank? What do you guys really think he should do if he wants to improve his game against a guy like Usyk or any of the other heavy hitters in the heavyweight division? As far as Usyk goes, I told you guys what I think. I think he needs to work on his muscle endurance in his legs because he's not moving enough. He's plodding around like some big berserker on a video game. You got the big berserker class that just moves forward and doesn't really move fast, so you can just kind of pick him apart with little shots and cover. He's like that. His punch output, trash. Didn't have any speed to his combos either. Yeah, he's a big dude, but we need a little bit more speed than that. You're going to have to sacrifice some of them weights and them muscles to do what you want to do, bro. That's just my thoughts on it, man. I hate that he's crying and sad and all that kind of stuff, but you got to do a little bit better, man. It's the fight world, man. We ain't really got nothing's ever easy out here for us in these streets. Nobody's ever nice to us in these streets. So that's just my thoughts. But, yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. I will see y'all next time. I appreciate y'all watching as usual.